We turn our attention now to Europe. Joining me here in the studio is the Ukrainian Ambassador to Australia, Vasyl Myroshnychenko. Ambassador, thank you for your time. The Prime Minister, Mr Albanese, is attending NATO next week in Madrid. No doubt the Ukraine conflict will be high on the agenda, and possibly a visit to Ukraine after that by the Prime Minister. Would you welcome that if he's able to get there?
Indeed, the NATO summit next week is a very important summit because this summit is not only hosting the NATO member states, but it's also hosting plus 10 allies of NATO. And the representation at the level of the Prime Minister of Australia, Prime Minister of New Zealand, Prime Minister of Japan, and President of Korea, this is of a very high level, and it's unprecedented in its scale. And of course, if Prime Minister Albanese can come to Ukraine, my President Zelensky, would really welcome it. He would be delighted to host him in Kiev, especially given all the support that Australian government has provided to Ukraine so far.
Australia is apparently the largest non-NATO contributor and supporter of Ukraine. Has that resonated with the Ukrainian people?
Absolutely. Australia is so popular now. When you get a taxi in Kiev or anywhere else and you say you're from Australia, the next thing you hear is Bushmaster. Bushmaster has become kind of a brand name, which is an armored personnel vehicle, which was granted to Ukraine. Australia has provided 40 of those vehicles. 20 were already delivered. But it's been in the news so much in Ukraine. So now that when you hear Australia, apart from thinking about kangaroos, people think about the Bushmasters.
And would you like to see more military support, ammunition and so on from Australia?
Absolutely. We would like to see more armored personnel vehicles. We would like to see more 1x5 of artillery pieces. We would like to see more anti-tank missiles, and which could be provided to Ukraine, and would be very thankful for that little aid to continue coming, because this war is existential from Ukraine, and the weapons which Russians are using against us are extremely powerful. They're using supersonic bombs, they're using cluster bombs, they're using lots of actual weapons which are banned by international conventions. So these ballistic missiles which are being shot in Ukraine, and Russia has already shot over 3,000 of those ballistic missiles. We don't even have those in Ukraine, but to protect us, to liberate the Ukrainian people which are currently under the Russian occupation, we need a steady pipeline of weapons coming into the country to be able to defend ourselves and to be able to restore the sovereignty of Ukraine.